You saw that too, right? The craziest part of last weekend, to everyone who watched it, was clearly Cloud9 losing a game. Not Shopify Rebellion going 0-6, not Sentinels beating Team Liquid, nor Impact taking Guardian Aatrox. Not even Dignitas almost beating Team Liquid until FBI baited Nico as a flashless Aphelios. And definitely not Disguised beating Lion 2-1, because we already knew that was going to happen. No, the craziest thing that happened last weekend was FlyQuest taking a game off of Cloud9, because that means the curse of the conspiracy board is broken and Cloud9 is going to win the LCS lock-in tournament. Thank you. I'll see you next time. Thank you. This week, there's a lot less games than there have been, with only 2, but this time the 2 games are best of 5s, not baby best of 3s, or even baby or baby best of 1s. Playing this week, both with rematches, we have Sentinels versus Disguise and Cloud9 versus FlyQuest. But if you've been paying attention, there's a little bit of controversy to how these teams got selected to play who they play. Cloud9 is instantly going back up against FlyQuest, which means that FlyQuest was the team Cloud9 chose to play against. But it turns out they weren't able to pick through all of the 2-1 teams. As Sven said, if they had the chance, they would have liked to be able to pick Sentinels, which, I mean, seems like it would make sense. But unfortunately for Cloud9, and honestly for FlyQuest as well, Sentinels automatically got a second place bidding, which means that Cloud9 was not able to pick them to be their opponent. It took me a while to kind of figure out what was going on, but I think it has to do with a strength of victory schedule that Sentinels had versus the other teams. And I don't know what teams received as a part of the rulebook, but if you check the 2026 LCS address, that kind of confused me because it states that the 3-0 team selects its upper bracket opponent. It didn't say anything about auto qualification for a second seed or anything like that. And that's also interesting because it did mention that for the 1 and 2 group, just failed to mention it for the 2 and 1 group. But that just kind of feels like such a needless rule that was kind of added in there for no reason, and gives Sentinels immunity against Cloud9 that doesn't necessarily feel like it was earned. Frankly, I think what was written in the address would have been a better rule. There haven't been a lot of games played, so you just let Cloud9 choose from all of the 2 and 1 teams and choose whoever they want to pick. Because with so few games, it's hard to really use tiebreakers to put them above without actually playing each other. And some of them have played each other. Because now Cloud9 has to choose as their reward for first place. Instead of playing against Sentinels, they have to choose between, do you want to play against the team that beat Sentinels, or do you want to play the team that beat Sentinels? So it should have just been simpler. Just let them choose from the 2-1. I don't know why there was random tiebreakers that also wasn't really communicated. All right, now that I've gotten that all over, let's get into the first week of playoff matches. Playing on Valentine's Day, starting off the playoffs best of 5s, we have Disguised going up against Sentinels. Now, of course, this is a lover's quarrel. Sentinels having 3 of Disguised's former suspects on their roster. And there's also a little bit of hot blood because Disguised already played them and beat Sentinels. And that was with their sub Kisno at jungle. So how are they going to perform with Kryra? Honestly, that change from Kisno to Kryra is why I think we won't see a different result despite Sentinels looking a lot better than they did in week 1. I'm predicting Disguised to win 3-1 against Sentinels, with Kryra winning Player of the Series. If they win, that would also put DSG in the top 3, which means they would qualify automatically to go to the America's Cup should they lose and not make it to first stand. And that would also be Disguised's first Tier 1 international play, so if that happens, congrats Toast. And then who I have fighting for a right to play a best of 5 against Disguised is Cloud9 going up in a rematch against FlyQuest to end the week. Despite FlyQuest being able to give Cloud9 their first defeat, I still thought Cloud9 looked pretty dominant against them. I could understand the thought process that Fly is going to be able to bounce back from this. You know, they seem really motivated after the loss, and it is hard to be able to beat teams 2 times in a row like this. But I still think they just need a little bit more time. This FlyQuest team is extremely promising, but But the Cloud9 team is just so locked in right now. They're all playing great, they look very well coached, and they just look like a very hard team to be able to beat right now. I mean, it is playoffs, so as long as Cloud9 doesn't choke and throw it all away, I do think that Cloud9 is going to be able to carry their momentum into the playoffs and keep a winning record. Especially after seeing some of the teams like TL and Lions start to crash and burn, so it really does just look like this tournament is Cloud9's for the taking. But you know, don't just take my word for it. You should trust the conspiracy board. Now, why would you trust the conspiracy board, you might ask? And that's a great question. However, let's just say I've been infiltrating some of the top systems and getting insider information as to what's going to happen this week. And that's how I know Cloud9 is going to be able to beat FlyQuest 3-1. And that's also how I know Blabber is going to get the MVP of the series. You should trust the conspiracy board, because as you can see here, both Cloud9 and FlyQuest put out content pieces that contained a conspiracy board in the background. Is that just a coincidence? I mean, probably. A loss for FlyQuest would then put them into the lower bracket along with Sentinels, going up against Lion and Team Liquid, who are now playing best of fives with their lives on the line. Thank you all so much for watching. If you liked this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, conspiracies, make sure to leave a comment down below. I hope you've been enjoying the LCS season as much as I have, because we've been getting some banger matchups. But anyways, I'll see you next time.